Everybody, welcome to the clinic. I am Dr. Scripps. Hopefully y'all have had a good week, but it is now time for the clinic to be open. And tonight we're going to be doing something very special. Well, the first time we're doing something special like this. Hopefully we'll be able to do this more in the future. But we're going to be doing tier lists. And so tonight, as I've called it, is Dr. Scripps ranks anything. And as you see, well, actually, you know what? Let's just bring it over to the big screen. We have a bunch of different tier lists that we'll be doing. So we have things like Stanley Parable endings, emergency medications, console wars, Final Fantasy tier list, every game of the year winner, and then we have some other ones at the end that if we get to them, we get to them. If not, then that's fine as well. But while we're doing these tier lists, I would like you to hop into the chat and first of all say hi. That would be great. But also while you're there, if you want to give me your opinions on stuff, then we can go ahead and do this as well. So I'm going to give it just a moment so that we can see a few more people get in here. But how's everybody doing? How's everybody's week been so far? Hopefully y'all have had a good week this week. Hopefully it's not been too busy or anything else for that. Myself, obviously been busy at the hospital, been working, doing some education stuff, and so yeah, it's really good. Hey, Facundo Sueves, hopefully I'm saying that right. Hey, welcome. How are you doing? So all right, let's go ahead and we'll get started. And we'll get started with, I figured since as a pharmacist, it's probably a good idea to start with something medication related. And so we do a complete OTC medication tier list maker. And we're going to start with the first one here, which is Lotrimin AF. Well, now Lotrimin AF is for probably the best way to describe it as athlete's foot. Certainly. Hey, Karima, hopefully I'm saying that right. Welcome. All right, so for Lotrimin AF, I think I'm going to put that into the B category. Obviously, I'm not huge on creams and stuff like that. Anyway, but when it comes to treatment, hello, how you doing? When it starts with this for Lotrimin AF, I think this is a reasonable starting point for this for it. The next one is something, I'll be honest, I've never heard of, which is Dumboro. Hey, Facundo, how you doing? I'll be honest, I haven't heard of this one that much. It looks like it's a medicated soak for rash relief. I'm just going to put this in the C more than anything else. Obviously, I'm sure it has some use, but not the greatest option that we have here available to us. Pepto-Bismol is one of the standbys for this. Sabías qué? I'll be honest, I'm not a Spanish speaking person, so I will be honest, I don't know what that is, but hello. Let's see. Pepto-Bismol. I'm gonna put Pepto in the A category. Pepto is I'll be honest, I prefer personally the Pepto tablets to the Pepto-Bismol liquid, but I do put Pepto up here as well. Benadryl, throw that in this category. Benadryl has a lot of uses. There's no way that I was not going to put Benadryl pretty high on this list for that. And so Oragel. Oragel is for typically toothaches and stuff like that, more than anything else. So Oragel will go into A category. It's kind of what I like to say is the standard for this, for it. So, TheraTears, so dry eye therapy. It's a standard treatment. It's not something that I specifically use, but it's there. Differin is also a good B category. That's for acne, obviously. So we're talking about younger people who have this one here for this. So, bacitracin, I'm gonna put it right here with the Lotrimin for that. Now this is more for wound care But I think there's something better for wound care that we'll pick up on later on. Now, time for me to go on my first rant on this tier list. I know why they put the proton pump inhibitors over the counter, because they are relatively safe. However, this is a big however, there are a lot of issues with PPIs. In fact, actually, you know what? Let's gonna move that Nexium there too. PPIs have a lot of issues associated with them. For this, they can, in and of themselves, they can cause C. difficile. They can, long-term use can cause kidney issues and everything else. So I have never been a big fan of PPIs. I'm not a fan of them in the hospital, and I'm certainly not a fan of them out of the hospital for that. So, yeah, so PPIs get down here into the, no, what are you doing treatment for this. Compound W, this is for, I think, warts. I'm going to put that in the C category. It's good. It's good. Nothing great. Solar cane. That is a category if there was ever an A category. And the reason why is because I'm someone who sunburns easily. And so solar cane, aloe is basically one of my big standbys for that. And so if I spend any time outside and concerned about burning or anything else, solar cane is my go-to for that. Let's see. All right, now aspirin. Boom, right there. Maybe the most important over-the-counter medication that's out there. Main reason why is because aspirin, besides being used for pain, though I will say pain is not the for that. But it's also used for heart health. It's one of the most important medications that are on here. And so, yeah, aspirin will get that. Mucinex. I'm going to put Mucinex in C, and I probably need to explain it a little bit on this one. It is a decongestant, and if you only need a decongestant, it's not bad. It's not bad. But if you're having a whole plethora of flu symptoms and everything else, Mucinex is probably not the thing you want to reach for. There'll be something else further down this list that will get a much, much higher ranking for me. So, earwax removal. Do they actually have the actual one? No. Okay. Yeah, it's B. It's B. It's like it's fine. It's fine. It's no great issues or anything like that. Dramamine. I am not a motion sickness person, but it is it's important medicine for those who are that. So yeah, that's that right there. Now monostat. Let me see what other options are down here. Okay, so this is the one and only of that we have for vaginal yeast infections and stuff like that. So obviously this is going to go into A. Incredibly important medication for that. Vapor rub. Again, I'm gonna put this in. I'll put this in B. I'll put it in B. Main reason why I'm putting this in B here is because of the fact that it's useful in flu and people who are having respiratory symptoms and stuff like that. Is it the best in the world? No, but it's usually a good supplemental treatment, especially for children and stuff like that. So it goes to the B category. Cortisone 10, I'm going to put cortisone in that same category as bacitracin. It's a steroid. Actually, you know what? No, sorry. I'll move that one up. Because cortisone is its own thing. It is a steroid. Obviously, incredibly important when it comes to wound care and everything else for that. Gaviscon. Wow, I haven't seen Gaviscon in a while. I think, well, no, there's Tums over here. I have to remind myself, what in the world is Gaviscon? What does it contain? Typically, it uses active ingredients like aluminum hydroxide, magnesium, treat indigestion, and yeah. D. I'm gonna put it down here with this. Main reason why is I haven't seen Gaviscon used in so long that it's kind of whatever it is. There are better options further down for this, for it. So Pepsid, right up to the S category. Main reason why is because if you need heartburn relief over the counter, Pepsid is always going to be my first to go to. Well, I will say, first of all, giving the technical answer. The technical answer is try lifestyle modifications, try things that are less spicy or things that don't worsen those things. But if you do need a medication for heartburn or for GERD, Pepsid is your go-to. Robitussin, cough and cold. I'm gonna put this down here in the Mucinex category again because there is a better option, and we'll get to that. Flintstones multivitamins. Hey, Daddy, how you doing? We're doing a tier list. We're starting off with an over-the-counter tier list, but we're gonna do some other ones first. As Dr. Scripps, I felt like, and as a pharmacist, I felt like it was appropriate to start with this category here with doing over-the-counter medications. Flintstones complete. That is going to be a solid. A. Well, no, not S. A. Obviously, multivitamins are important, and so I'm doing that more for the entire class of multivitamins. For that more than anything else. Aleve, naproxen. I'll put Aleve in the B category. Main reason why is because of the medications that you can use for pain relief over the counter. Aspirin is not really one that I would use for pain relief. It can be, but the other ones that we're going to go through down here are like Tylenol and Advil. I'm going to rank those much higher than this one. So don't get me wrong, naproxen is fine. It's fine, but it's not in my upper tier lists for this. Mocha Mag. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to put this a little bit lower than the Pepto category. Not bad, but yeah. Tums. I'm going to put in the B category. Again, not my preferred option, but Tums certainly does have a place in therapy for that. Abreva. Now, actually, I'm even going to change one thing here. Sorry. Abreva is cold sores. Oragel is tooth pain. Yeah, that's an A category med in my opinion. Kind of standard treatment for cold sores and everything else. So that's a good one. Dulcolax. So now we're to stool softeners for constipation. I'm gonna put this in A category. Main reason why is because it's one of those that's kind of the standard for this, and so yeah, it's fine. It's a good drug. It helps with constipation. Kind of the same thing with Imodium. Imodium is going to the A category because that is the almost reversal of each other. Dulcolax is for constipation. Imodium is for diarrhea. No. I'm moving that down one. And the reason I'm moving it down just one category is because of the fact that sometimes diarrhea has a purpose. So for example, it might be telling you like, hey, you have a C. difficile infection or something like that. And so it's not something that like, it was just standard diarrhea. Sure. Imodium is fine for that, but there's also risk of doing that. Lactaid, enjoy dairy again. That's a B category drug in my opinion. It's good, but it's fine. Zyrtec. I have Benadryl in A. Actually, I'm going to do another quick move around real quick. Boop. And move Zyrtec. And while we're at it, move Claritin up here too. For that. Both these are good over-the-counter antihistamines. For that, it's great. I'm putting all three of them. I'm putting all three of the antihistamines in there. Benadryl is not really the one that I would use for seasonal allergies. Zyrtec or Claritin are the ones that I would use for seasonal allergies. Zyrtec's a little more drowsy. Let's move that to A. Claritin's non-drowsy. Zyrtec is drowsy, which makes the point of if I was going to do something for this, I might just as well use Benadryl for this. So that's the reason I moved Zyrtec down one. Claritin is the non-drowsy option. So if you need something to do this, That's fine here. All right, to the one that I've been beating around the bush on, and might as well move Mr. NyQuil up here too. That personally for me is my go-to. Like if I have any cold or flu symptoms or anything else, DayQuil during the day, NyQuil at night. For that. Now, yes, I know. Well, and obviously NyQuil causes drowsiness and everything else for that as well. But that is the kind of good 1-2 combo for that. Is like if you have seasonal, if you have cold and flu symptoms, DayQuil, NyQuil, or some form of similar combination to DayQuil, NyQuil are typically what I go for that. So really, really good options there. XIII. I'm going to move XIII to C. It has a place, but it's nowhere near my preferred for that. Just because it's fine. It's fine. It is like, but you can also get the same thing. Like this is a combination of Tylenol, aspirin, and caffeine. That's, actually no. I want to go with what I originally was thinking when I saw Excedrin. It combines 2 different pain relievers with acetaminophen and aspirin, as well as adding caffeine into it. I know it's for migraines. I still would probably lean more towards just using, aspirin or, Tylenol in them themselves rather than going through and doing that for it. All right. Miralax. I'm going to put Miralax right here by Mr. DayQuil. This is like treatment 1 for constipation. No, actually, no, move it down 1. Sorry, I'm doing movements as I'm looking at them. DayQuil is kind of our first go-to one. Miralax is our second line. So if I'm going to say DayQuil is an A, I have to say Miralax is a B for that reason. So triple antibiotic ointment, boom. That's the one I was waiting to put up in the S category. If I needed something, if I had a cut or a wound and I was trying to treat it, triple antibiotic would be the one that I would absolutely go for. E-Contra one step. Now, it's kind of a little bit hard to see this, but this is Plan B. And so Plan B is going to get into the S category. It's vitally important for that. It's used the next day after unprotected sex, so I don't get the argument that people say is like, oh, it's abortion. No, it's not abortion. It's literally the same thing as taking a birth control pill, and the only difference is you take it the day after, or you take it afterwards instead of taking it during, and so or taking it beforehand. So it's an incredibly important med. I'm gonna just leave it right there for that. Let's see. Tylenol. Again, Tylenol's a S tier drug. That's one of the most important ones. Aloe, I want to put this one right here with it as well. Kind of basically, I don't know why they included 2 of these in the same thing. It's kind of the same reason why I don't know why they included 2 of these. Coldies. I want to put Coldies in the B category. Main reason why is because there are certain patient populations, especially those with high blood pressure, that Coldies, some formulations could be useful. But again, DayQuil and NyQuil are my go-to for that. And then for some reason, they decided to put both Motrin and Advil, which I have no understanding of why they did that. But they're both going into the A category, mainly because I can't differentiate them because they're not meant to be differentiated. I think one is a tablet and one's an enteric-coated tablet, but the difference is the same. They're both ibuprofen, and it's fine for this. So, what are your thoughts on this tier list here? I think, let's just review it. So, S drugs, aspirin, Pepsid, Claritin, Benadryl, DayQuil, NyQuil, triple antibiotic, Plan B, essentially, and Tylenol. I should say, Tylenol, the reason I'm putting ibuprofen and this in the A category is because for most patients, Tylenol should be the first thing that you try. If for some reason you have liver issues or things along those lines that would prohibit you from using Tylenol, Motrin would be your next best option for that. But of course, if you have kidney issues, you can't use those, so you have to go back to the Tylenol. So it's just like, okay, we'll just start with the Tylenol for that. A category: Dramamine, Solarcaine, Aloe, Aftersun, Monostat, Pepto-Bismol, Oragel, Abreva, corticosteroid cream, Flintstones, DayQuil, Zyrtec, Motrin, ibuprofen. Wait, am I? No, because I have triple antibiotic on A. That's right. Triple antibiotic A, steroid on B, or sorry, S, steroid on A, and then bacitracin in B. Yeah, I think that looks right. I think for that. So, B category we have Lotrimin AF, bacitracin, vapor rub, earwax removal, Theratears, Differin. Hi, Shadow Monarch. How you doing? We're doing tier list tonight. We just finished up our first tier list. So, Aleve, Milkamag, Tums, Imodium, Lactate, Miralax, and Coldies. In the C category, we have Mucinex, Robitussin, Dumboro, for rash relief, and Compound W for wart removal. And then the D category, we have the PPIs. I'm doing good. Had a busy week, but doing well. Gaviscon and Excedrin are the D category. So, let's see. Can we share on Twitter? Let's just share on Twitter. So that way you can interact there. Oh, I thought it would, no, okay. I thought it would allow me to change the results. Hey, did it post? Did it actually post? No, it didn't. Okay. It was just a... Yeah, okay. That's fine. I don't want to save it anyway. Okay. We'll share stuff later on. I'll post these on Twitter later on for this. Okay, so we're done with category 1. Now, let's go to something we recently did. And let's go to Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Tier List Maker endings. So we have the categories of Triple S, S, A, B, C, D, F, and everything else. And we have basically all the endings here listed for this. So let's go with let's start at the beginning, and we'll go with the freedom ending. Freedom ending is just C. Like, it's just the most basic ending. Is like, okay, you followed along with the narrator, and yeah, that's fine. For that. Countdown ending. So this is the explosion ending as well. I think I'm gonna do B just because it is exciting. It's one of the first times you get to do opposite of what the narrator is telling you to do. For that, so it is really, really good. Let's see, the insanity ending. I'll be honest, I did not like the insanity ending because it just seemed weird. Like, it just seemed really, really weird. For that. And so just like, okay, I get it. But escape ending. I'm gonna put that in the same category as this one here because it's something that yeah, you do it once, but it's fine. It's fine. So confusion ending. Move this up to here. Triple S. This is my first triple S. I love the confusion ending. With the realization that the narrator was just going to be driven crazy as well with that. And so, yeah, that was really, really good. Apartment ending. I'm going to put apartment ending in the C category. It's fine, but it is like, it's just kind of sad for that. So it's fine, but we'll go from there. The real person ending or the incorrect ending. So, I actually like that one a lot. I'm going to put that in the B category. Game ending. I really like the game's ending. Now, the one they show, actually, hold on. Is there two different games endings? No, it's just a matter of when it was made. So, Ultra Deluxe did not have Portal and Minecraft. It had Firewatch and Rocket League for that. But same thing happens. Baby game ending. Wait, hold on. Is there actually two? Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Room closet ending. Serious ending. Oh, games ending retooled. Okay. I'll put these both together. So this is, yeah, the Firewatch one and the for that. So baby game ending, I'm just gonna put that in the question mark. We didn't actually do it, and so Zending, that was a tough one to go through, but I think it was a good, quote unquote, good ending for that. And so it was a rough one because you had to keep throwing yourself off the top of the thing, but it was good. Powerful ending. I'm gonna put that in the D category. For that. Same thing with Cold Feet ending. Main reason why is because that's just you jump off this or you jump onto it only to back off of it and to say, well, it's not coming back, so you might as well jump to the floor. So they're kind of similar endings, but slightly different for this. Escape pod ending. That's gonna be my first S, I think. Not triple S. I still have confusion ending as like the triple S ending. But the escape pod ending is pretty decent. Because of what you have to do to be able to do that. Heaven ending is weird, but I like the weirdness of it. Out of map ending. So are you sick of this gag? That was a B one. Now I will say the one with the bucket is not going to be B. It is going to be higher. Coward ending. I mean, it's fine. It was there. Broom closet ending. S ending. I really like the broom closet ending to the point where eventually the narrator just be like, you know what, screw you, I'm not allowing you to keep doing this. Like, you know. So I really like that one. Serious ending. I don't remember anything about the serious ending. What was the serious ending? Serious ending. Oh, it's not accessible in Ultra Deluxe. Okay, got it. Okay, all right. Oh, because you have to launch the game in code with codes and everything else. Got it. Okay, I was like, serious ending. Okay, well by default, serious ending is going into that because we didn't actually do the ending. Whiteboard ending. I'm sorry. It's like that was just a thing to turn on the barking mode. That was just kind of weird for that. And so yeah, that gets an F. Elevator ending. I like the weirdness of the elevator ending, where they have to go up and you do a press conference and everything else. So I really like that. Bottom of the mind control facility ending. I believe that one is probably here. No, it's B. It's B. It's good, but you know, tape ending. I'm gonna do tape ending in B, but I like the tape ending for bucket version better. New content ending. New content ending. That is B. The skip button ending. Yeah, I really like the skip button ending. Though that was one of my favorite endings. Same thing with the sequel ending. Sequel ending is really top tier ending for that, and so yeah, really enjoyed that. Infinite Hole. I'm gonna put Infinite Hole in the B ending. It's fine. It was a good ending. We did it in the end, but that's fine. Figurine ending. I actually really like the figurine ending. I think I'm gonna do that one in the A category. It's strange that Confusion ending is the only one that's meeting the S category right now. So, for that. Okay, so now we're to the bucket versions of the endings for this. So Freedom ending, I did not like the the regular Freedom ending is C. The bucket Freedom ending is D. Because there was not, it was like, oh, you and the back bucket are trapped forever in the facility. I'm like, because the facility didn't want that bucket to go. Like, okay, sure, fine. Countdown ending though is going to be higher than the original countdown ending because I love the thing with the birds on that one. That was one of my favorite endings. Insanity ending. It's kind of the same thing just with buckets. Like, I think I'm just going to put that right there with it. Same thing with the escape ending. It's sort of the same thing, just the only difference is there's a whole bunch of stories about the buckets. Confusion ending with the bucket. Or this is what's the bucket destroyer ending. I'm going to put this in A only because they don't actually let you destroy the bucket. It's nowhere near the confusion ending of the original for that. It's not bad, but... apartment ending with the bucket. So I know I did a short about that one specifically, but my goodness, did I love the bucket apartment ending. I thought that was hilarious with you becoming roommates with the bucket and everything else. Real person ending with the bucket for that. I think... Yeah, I think it's in the... Yeah, I think it's kind of the same place. B. It was good, but there's not a whole bunch of main differences for that. Powerful ending and... I'm just going to put them right by their counterparts here. No big difference for this. Atomap ending. Triple S or S? I think I like this one. Main reason why is because this is the one where you end up stabbing the bucket. For that. Same thing with the space escape pod. The original escape pod ending is S. I actually think the escape pod with the bucket is actually triple S. I think that's one of the best endings to the game for that. Broom closet ending, kind of the same thing, though slightly different. You do get the stickers on this one, but I still think it's going to fit into that S category for that. Elevator ending. The elevator ending with the 3 button is one of my least favorite endings of the in here. I don't think it's going to be F ending, but I think I'm putting it in C. I think I'm putting it in C for that. Tape ending. The tape ending in with the bucket is actually really weird. I actually am going to bump that up to A, I think, for that, because this one is fine. It's talking about the bucket. This one's like the bucket is some sort of monster, which is actually revealed later when you get to the where is it? The Atomap ending, to find out that it's being controlled by some evil thing. The bucket's ending. Is this a bucket? Yeah. With everything of being a bucket. No, that's triple S. That's one of the best ones. And then epilogue. I like epilogue. I would probably have epilogue in the A category. Is like, because you have to basically unlock every other single ending before you even get to the epilogue ending for that. So it's not bad, but okay, so let's see. So in our triple S, we have confusion ending, apartment ending with bucket, escape pod ending with bucket, and the no buckets ending. In the S tier, we have the original escape pod ending, both of the broom closet endings, the VIP or the skip button ending, the equal ending, and the bucket version of the Atomap ending. In the A's, we have both of the games endings. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna move this down to the question because we didn't actually do that one. We actually did the new games ending with the retool. The Zending is a heaven ending, the elevator ending, figurine ending, countdown ending, confusion ending, tape ending, and the epilogue for that. So I think those are all appropriate. The explosion ending is in B. The 2 real people endings are there. The original Atomap ending. Actually, wait a minute. Did it not include the bottom of the mind control facility ending for the bucket? Or is that a different ending? Why did they not include... Oh, that's bad. Okay. Yeah, they forgot to include the bottom of the mind control facility ending for when you have the bucket. Because the bucket actually has a additional, like you set up like a small apartment at the bottom of the thing. And so it's, in my opinion, I would have put that one version in the A category for that. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's a actual possible option. The tape ending, the original, the new content ending, and the infinite hole ending are all in the B category. Freedom ending, C, the original apartment ending, and the elevator version or the bucket version of the elevator ending. And both insanity endings, both escape endings, both powerful and cold feet endings, and the freedom ending with the bucket are all in the D category. And the F category, probably the ones that are the least amount, which is the coward ending and the whiteboard ending. And the ones we didn't really do, baby game ending, serious ending, and the original game ending. So, what's thoughts on this one? And I think this is a very, very reasonable version for this. I think this is a reasonable breakdown of the different tier endings. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. All right, so I'm gonna take a quick break real quick, get something to drink, and I'll be back in just a moment. All right, welcome back, everybody. I have my drink, and so I am good to continue through ranking stuff. This is our second tier list dealing with medications, but this actually is dealing with EMS medications, or things that be used importantly in the field and everything else for this. So it's like, this medication is beautiful, it's useful for the most part, medication is okay, not a fan of it, and I have no opinion on it for this. And we start off once again with Tylenol. Medication is okay. It's like, I mean, it can help with some pain and everything else for that, but it's fine. It's fine for this. And so yeah, we're gonna put that one there. Actidose. So I think Actidose, if my memory serves me correct, I think active dose is charcoal. Yeah. It's useful for the most part. Active dose is activated charcoal. Hi, is it Blair Alcorn? Welcome, Blair Alcorn. Welcome. All right. So we're doing a tier list. This is our third tier list that we're doing, which is EMS medications. Adenosine. Yeah, that's gonna go into right here. And the main reason why is for anyone with tachyarrhythmias. Yeah, this is it's a beautiful medication. It actually can help slow heart rate down and everything else for that. The other reason why I kind of like adenosine is one of the weird little facts of this is it can actually make your heart rate rhythm look like a systole for about a second or two before that. And so, yeah, it's really, really cool for that. So adrenaline, epinephrine. I think, hold on, before we get too far down the epinephrine route. Okay. This adrenaline is going in this medication's okay category. The main reason why is because there is an epinephrine later on, or actually I'll just handle it now. That medication is your standard cardiac arrest medication for that. Really important for that. So yeah, epinephrine actually would probably have it right now as the most beautiful of the meds. So for that, we'll get to these other ones in a moment. Aspirin. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's like it's mainly used for like nosebleeds and stuff like that more than anything else. For it, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. For that. So that is I believe that is a albuterol nebulizer that we are looking at here, and I will say that's useful for the most part. If a patient is really having breathing difficulties, you're probably not going to hook up the albuterol nebulizer to the patient, but it's useful. It works for that. Amiodarone. Do I put it up there with its counterpart with for codes, or do I leave it in the it's useful for the most part? This is a tough one. This is a real tough one. I think I'm going to leave it in this useful for the most part. Main reason why is because epi is kind of the first go-to for a patient in cardiac arrest. Amiodarone is fine, but it's not going to be kind of the first go-to for that. Bear, that's one of the first meds you'll give to a patient with a heart attack. If you've ever heard of the acronym MONA, M-O-N-A, that would be morphine, oxygen, nitroglycerin, and aspirin. So obviously aspirin would be one of the more important ones. Morphine also will definitely go up here. I think there's two different versions of nitroglycerin here. One of these I'm not gonna do anything with, and the other one I'm probably gonna do something with. So, but I don't see it. We'll keep going. Atropine. So this is for your low heart rate. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It helps to increase heart rate. It's a fine drug. It's okay. Ipratropium. If albuterol is useful for the most part, ipratropium is it's okay. It's fine. Calgonate. What the fuck is calgonate? Calgonate. A moisturizer? That's it? It's just a skin moisturizer? No. That's not an EMS medication. Oh, wait. Calcium gluconate gel. Oh, hold on. Okay, so hold on. Wait. But still a topical calcium. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Calcium gluconate. Now, the actual calcium gluconate, incredibly important. I'm going to put that as useful for the most part. for that one. Main reason why is because for patients with hyperkalemia, it's really important to do the calcium gluconate. Diazepam, it's fine. It's fine for heart rate control and everything else. I believe that is ceftriaxone. For that. I'm gonna put that in the it's okay. It's fine. It's not a terrible medication by any stretch of the imagination, but it's also not, like, oh my gosh, we have to do this, we have to do this now, essentially. Even before you start using antibiotics like this is you're gonna want to make sure the patient's getting fluids and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, and I don't know how they're gonna do this in the EMS category in terms of the field, because you're really not supposed to administer any antibiotics until the patient's had a culture drawn. So it's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's like, for that. So, 10% dextrose. Oh, where should we put 10% dextrose? Wait, do we have D50 syringe? I don't see a D50 syringe on here. Okay, I'm going to use this as our dextrose thing and say it's useful for the most part for that, because it is something that is important when it comes to like low blood glucoses and things along those lines for that. So kind of the same thing. I'll go ahead and do the glucose gel here in the same category as that. It's useful. It's like if a patient has low blood glucose, it's a good way to, this is if the patient can take PO, this is if they cannot take PO. Both are fine. Diazepam. One of the most important drugs that are on this list. Main reason why is because obviously for seizures would be the big reason why, but also can be used for agitation and a whole bunch of other things for that. So diazepam, awesome drug for that. Benadryl, it's fine. It's fine. It's like, again, I'm going to use it's useful for the most part. Main reason why is because if patients having an anaphylactic reaction and they can take a PO medication, Benadryl is fine. It's fine for that. But it's not the like, oh my gosh, I got to do this right now. Dopamine. So this is one of the ionotropes. It's fine. It's not one of those that I could see them starting immediately. So it's fine. It's perfectly fine for that. The next two are both going to go to the medications beautiful category. That's fentanyl and etomidate. Those are your standard go-to for intubation medications, fentanyl and etomidate. And so, yeah, no, they get the highest option there. For that. So furosemide as an EMS medication, I would say it's fine. It's like it's a okay medication for this. Yeah, it's fine. It's like I'm gonna do a little switch up. It's mainly for a diuretic. Monstremo, do I believe in God? Yes, I do. Now, if you're asking if I'm religious, that would be a different answer to that category. But yes, for that. So, glucagon. So actually, I'm going to move the D50 bag down here because glucagon will be the one that if a patient is having a low blood glucose. Hi, Sislin, how you doing? If the patient's having low blood glucose, most of the patients in the EMS field are not going to have an IV line readily available to start infusing a bag of D10W. But glucagon, though, can be given IM. That's incredibly important. So I'm going to put these as the more useful for low blood glucoses more than anything else for this. Ketamine. Beautiful drug. Absolutely beautiful drug. Again, kind of can be used for that same category as the etomidate fentanyl for intubation purposes. So beautiful drug. Absolutely beautiful drug. Labetalol. I'm going to put it in the same, it's useful for the most part category. Main reason why is because it's a good medication to help bring down blood pressure and everything else for that. And so, yeah, it's fine. Are they actually saying this is EMS or emergency medication services? Like, because I don't know, this is me maybe confusing stuff here. Because I've considered it two different things. Like EMS is the people who bring you to the hospital in the ambulance, and then there's emergency medical services, which is like the emergency room department at the hospital. And so I'm going off of this as the EMS in the field type medications more so than in the hospital. If I was talking about in the hospital, these rankings would be moved around a little bit more. But for this is like I think it's fine for this. So LR again, kind of the same category as here. It's fine. It's an isotonic crystalloid. It can be used for purposes, but I would probably prefer another option that's coming up. Lidocaine. So lidocaine is going to be in the it's useful for the most part category. I think it's going to be when it's needed, essentially. Same thing with mag sulfate is going to be there. I'll be honest, mag also can be used as a reversal agent for some things as well. So mag sulfate is really important. I don't know why there's meat tenderizer on here. So I have no opinion on the meat tenderizer, and I don't understand why it's there to begin with. Solumedrol. So solumedrol, I would say, is useful for the most part. Now, again, I don't know how many people in the field are going to be starting a steroid immediately, but if you do have an anaphylactic patient, it could be very, very important for that. I'm kind of surprised EpiPens are not on this list for this. Yeah, I'm really surprised that it's not there for this. So, midazolam. It's fine. It's like I would probably use lorazepam and a whole bunch of other things beforehand, but it's fine. It's fine. Naloxone. Come up to the big category for this. And actually, oh, doggone it. Why did it move me back to... Sorry. My monitor just tried to do something really weird, and it wasn't supposed to do that. Okay, naloxone. I'm going to actually put it above epi. Naloxone may be the most important medication in EMS when it comes to, patients down on the scene. Obviously, you're going to do things like epinephrine. You're going to do CPR. You're going to do a whole bunch of other things if they can do it. But naloxone, if it's opioid overdose, I mean, it's so important that I would say people who are even not EMS should be carrying around naloxone for this. So very, very important medication. So I put it at its rightful place at this medication is beautiful, right at the top of the list here. Now, this is nitroglycerin spray, but I don't see nitroglycerin tablets anywhere here. So I'm kind of in a torn between two things here. If we were talking about nitroglycerin spray, it would be here. It would be definitively here. I don't like nitroglycerin spray. I would rather use tablets or use cream or anything else. But if we're talking about nitroglycerin as a whole, it would be up here for this. Besides being used as part of that MONA that I was talking about earlier with morphine, oxygen, nitroglycerin, and aspirin, it can be used in a tablet formulation. It can be used in a cream formulation. There's a whole bunch of different uses for nitroglycerin. Hi, Toom. How you doing? Well, don't worry, it's fab. We're gonna get to this is the last of our medication ones. We'll get to a tier list that's not that in just a moment. Levofed, it's useful for the actually, yeah, I'll put it here. It's useful for the most part. That's fine. NS, I'm gonna move NS just slightly above for the LR and the D10W. Main reason why is because if you're going to start an infusion in the field, it's probably going to be NS more than anything else. On Dancitron, take your place at the top. No, absolutely. No, absolutely. We're almost done with this list too. So, but yeah, if you want to grab something real quick to eat, then it'll be great. Oxygen. right up at the top again. This medication is beautiful, even though technically I wouldn't consider oxygen, but I do have my 4 here, which is morphine, oxygen, nitroglycerin, aspirin. That is your 4 combo right there for myocardial infarctions and heart attacks. Rockin' sucks. I'm gonna put sucks in the. I'm gonna put sucks here, and I'm gonna put rocuronium here. And the main reason why is because succinylcholine acts a little bit quicker and usually does not need to be reversed, so it's useful for the most part. Rocuronium, if you're going to use it as a paralytic agent, why would I say that? I'm not saying that. You know what? Subscribe to me on Twitch and I'll consider saying it. For that. So, rocuronium is fine. It's like, but it's longer lasting. So I think most of the time we're talking about in the field, succinylcholine is going to be the preferred option. So, yeah. If you want me to say that word in on stream, then yeah, you're gonna need to subscribe to Twitch to do that. So. Vitamin C is really good. Is like, I mean, this is more of emergency medicine more than anything else, but vitamin C obviously has its place for that. So, sodium bicarb, not a fan of it. There are very, very, very few circumstances where sodium bicarb should be used, period. When it comes to emergency medical services and acidosis. Oh yeah, we have, it's fab. Yeah, we have vitamin C. We obviously have vitamin C. Mostly over the counter. There are a few prescription formulations for that, but yeah, no, we absolutely have vitamin C as a available to us here. It's over the counter as well for that. So yeah, no, we absolutely have vitamin C. Yes, absolutely. For that. So tranexamic acid, take your spot near the top. Tranexamic acid is what we typically use for bleeds. If we're trying to stop bleeding, it's perfect drug for that. Blood, obviously vitally important for this. And so, yeah, well, you know, so this medication is beautiful. We have naloxone, epi, adenosine, aspirin, morphine, diazepam, etomidate, fentanyl, ketamine, nitroglycerin, ondansetron, oxygen, tranexamic acid, and blood. For useful for the most part, we have Actidose, albuterol, amiodarone, calcium, diltiazem, labetalol, glucagon, glucose oral gel, Benadryl, lidocaine, magnesium, solumedrol, levofed, NS fluids, and succinylcholine. Medication's okay. Tylenol, adrenaline, afronasal spray, atropine, ipratropium, ceftriaxone, dopamine, furosemide, 10% dextrose, LR, midazolam. What, counterpain? No, I've never heard counterpain before for that. So as you have to, as a pharmacist, you would have to tell me what the generic name is, because I'm assuming counterpain is a trade name of some sort of a medication. I mean, it could be acetaminophen, it could be aspirin, it could be ibuprofen for that. So yeah, it's certainly multiple different options that are available to what counterpain is, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head for that. So dopamine, furosemide, 10% dextrose, LR. Calluses, IG to cure this. Okay, you know, I'll look it up real quick. Let's see. Counter pain. Oh, it's an analgesic cream. Okay. Got it. Okay. It's a cream to help with that. So, okay. For that. So it looks like they have different formulations of counter pain. I'm still not 100% certain what the actual active ingredient is for it, but I'm assuming it's something for like Aspirin or something along those lines that are similar to it. So, yeah, it sounds like it would be good for topical pain and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely. That would be great. That would be a great option for that. Midazolam, rocuronium, and the not a fan of it, calgonate and sodium bicarb, and then I have no clue as to why meat tenderizer is on this list, but it's on this list. All right, what are everyone's thoughts? Let me know in chat. Tell me what your thoughts are on this list. I know probably most of y'all don't have medical background, so this is probably not going to be the most interesting to y'all. But what are your thoughts on this tier list here? I am not saying anything without, sorry, I just don't say things to say things. Like, why would I say Raymaz? What in the world is Raymaz? I don't even know what Raymaz is. So there, you got it inadvertently. The Ferret Army? What's the Ferret Army? Is that what Raymaz is? I don't know. Okay. Okay, so that's one here. All right, let's go to something not medicine related. Console Wars, best video game consoles of all time tier list. For that. So we have a whole bunch of lists here of different things. And we have the categories of legendary to complete trash. So I'm probably sure I'm going to hurt some people's feelings on this one. And that's okay, because we all have opinions on this. So, Atari 2600. Not to age myself. Well, this is a game we're playing. We're playing tier list. So, Atari 2600. For the time, I'm going to say it was an outstanding system. Obviously, it was one of the first systems out there for video games and stuff like that. It was really, really good. So, yeah, pretty good stuff. All right. For that. So, Dreamcast. Yeah, I'll be honest. It was when Sega was on their way out. Like, it's fine, but like, thank you, sabotaging. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Game Boy Color S, the first handheld I ever had. No, the Game Boy was amazing. Like, the Game Boy was such an amazing console. For that. So, absolutely amazing system. So yes, that's gonna be the first in the legendary category. Game Gear. The only reason Game Gear is going here. Oh, hey Ezekiel, Chocolate Dubai, how you doing? The only reason Game Gear is going here is because, yes, it was a good system. It was a system that was likely ahead of its time because it was about the same time that the Game Boy did come out. The problem is it had about a 20-minute battery life on it, which made it very not useful for that. So, so it's really, I wouldn't call it complete trash or forgettable. I would say it was mediocre because it didn't. You couldn't play for that long with that. So for it, Game Boy Advance, I'm gonna put that in the outstanding category. I don't think it was better than the original Game Boy, but it was good. It was good. GPD Win. Is this just talking about Windows? I mean, it's fine if you have a Windows computer. Sure, you could do that. So, and television. I think I'm gonna put that in. Obviously, the television was behind the Atari. For that, and so, yeah. If you write meme numbers in chat, I'm not going to talk about them or anything else. I'm just going to completely ignore them. So, and yeah, the Intellivision is not great. Jaguar, This is probably gonna be the one that gets me in trouble. I'm sorry. The Jaguar, it was the last gasp of Atari. Uh, at this point, uh, for this. Yeah, you're about 2 seconds away from getting banned. So this is your one warning for that. So keep it up, and you are getting banned in my chat. Not timed out, banned. For that. So, yeah, the Jaguar is just, it was a generation behind everything else. It was one of those just too little, too late. One second, folks. Have to deal with a problem real quick. One second. I've given you plenty of warnings, so yeah, you're basically spamming my chat at this point. Let me find it real quick, and I will. Channel dashboard, because apparently I can't ban from Streamlabs. So I guess I'm just gonna have to go to the live control room and ban there. Okay, oh, that's the horizontal feed, so that's not gonna be useful. The vertical, okay, that's the portrait. Yeah. All right. That is. I don't want to remove. I don't want to remove message. I want to ban. How can I ban? Per user in timeout for, yeah. You're done for 24 hours at least. So yeah, you're done. You're done. So I've given you plenty of ample warning about not doing that. So yep, you're out. You're out. All right. Switching back to better things. Yeah, the Jaguar was just a system behind. It was way too much for that, and so not a great thing. So Magnavox CDI, again, forgettable. I don't remember a single thing about the Magnavox CDI. I just don't. I mean, was it good? Probably, but yeah, it's fine. I don't remember a single thing about it. Mega Drive. So this is also I think this is the Genesis, right? This is where the Genesis would fall, because the Mega Drive is basically I'm looking to see if there's another Sega Genesis somewhere. No, I don't see it. I'm gonna say that was outstanding. I don't know if it fits into the legendary category, but I do think it is a great system for that. Nintendo 3DS. I know I'm gonna hurt some people on this one. I'm sorry, the 3D gimmick on the Nintendo 3DS was just god fucking awful. It did not work. I don't know what they were trying to go for. I don't know what the intention was, but that did not work. Well, the good news is Nolan Miller. I also am a fan of the Nintendo 64 as well for that, and so ranked tanks. What do you mean tanks? Like tanks in MMOs or like actual tanks? Congrats, Jay Gaming, I guess. I don't know. There's about 5 things wrong with that sentence that I'm not even going to acknowledge for that. So N64 is going to go in the outstanding. I don't think it's legendary, but I think it is outstanding for this. Same thing with the, like, I remember going over a friend's house and playing GoldenEye for hours and stuff like that. So N64 is really, really good. In my opinion, the one reason it does not get up to the legendary tier is that controller. I don't know what they were thinking with that controller, but that was not it. That was not it. Whatever that controller was for that. Nintendo DS. This one's actually going to go into the worth your money. I like the original. I originally like the original Nintendo DS. It was when they added the 3D gimmick that it's just like, really. So, but I had the Nintendo DS. I was very, very happy with that one. NES. What to do with Mr. NES here? I'm going to put the original NES in outstanding, and the main reason why is because it was a really great system and everything else. However, if I'm thinking that upper echelon of systems, the NES is not the thing that comes to mind for that. There's going to be some that do come up to higher categories, but the NES was not it for that. Nintendo GameCube. I think it was worth your money. I think Nintendo GameCube is worth your money for that. Is this an SCP? Yeah, it's based on my taste. It's like I get it. It's like some people are gonna put NES into B, and I completely get NES being in B. Main reason why, and I might as well go ahead and do it now. The reason NES is gonna be no higher than A is because the SNES I think was the better system, and I think that's in the S category for that. Oh no, sorry. I guess thank you for allowing me to explain this, Nolan. The order in the tiers do not matter. I'm not gonna tier them by individual in the order. This is more just it falls into that category for that. It is not going to fall into. I'm not gonna specify like which is the highest of the A's, which is the lowest of the A's, or anything like that. This is just a, in the category of is A. It's outstanding. I'm not gonna go through the whole rigmarole of doing this, but similar to the NES and the SNES for this, I would put the PS1 as an outstanding system, whereas I would put the PS2 into a legendary system for that. Yeah, PS1 was really, really good system. I had the PS1. I enjoyed it a lot. The PS2 basically blew it out of the water in every conceivable way, essentially, for that. And so, yeah, the PS2, I think, is by far when we're talking about PlayStation consoles and we're talking about legendary PlayStation consoles, I think the PS2 is where for this. C4 is better than PS1. I think is I think some people prefer Nintendo over PlayStation, so I completely get it. If I was going to rank in between the tiers here, I probably would have the PS1 higher than NES because I owned the PS1, whereas the NES or the N64 was more playable from other people's perspective, going to other people's house. So I had a preference towards PlayStation, but that's part of the reason why I'm not doing this in the tiers itself right now is because for this. PS3, I would say is worth your money. And main reason why is because I don't know if people remember when the PS3 came out. PS3 was it was the most affordable Blu-ray player there was at the time for that. And so even if I don't remember amazing, absolutely mind-blowing games on the PS3, I do respect that it is worth the money for this. Whereas on the flip side, the PS4, I don't remember a single thing about the PS4, just with the exception of it being before the PS5. For that, like I can't think of anything that's like, oh my gosh, this was the PS4 must-have exclusive game. I don't. For that, and so, athletic director, hey fun, bud. So, I mean, it was fine. PS5, I am going to say PS5, in my opinion, was in the outstanding category. Obviously, PS5 is not reaching the levels of PS2 by any stretch of the imagination. But I mean, for a console system, I personally am going to have it higher than I have than the XRS for this. But yeah, it was a really good system. I don't have a whole lot of arguments in terms of yeah, PS5 it's an okay state for me. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I think the PS5, honestly, if the PlayStation, if Sony wanted to wait, 3 more years on releasing a new, PS6 or whatever, I think it would be completely reasonable. I think the PS5 still does very, very well with most games today. Now, I do think PCs can blow it out of the water, but yeah, it's fine. So, PlayStation Portable, I personally am going to say it's worth your money. I remember getting the PlayStation Portable, and there was a lot of cool things that you could do with the PlayStation Portable. It had those weird discs, and yeah, exactly, Nolan. Yes, exactly. Yes, we don't need a new PlayStation now. And honestly, I would rather them wait until prices come down for RAM and everything else, or they're going to end up charging $1,200. It's going to cost $1,200 to do a PS6, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. So, yeah, if they can seriously hold off on the PS6 until, hey, Laura, unofficial, how you doing? Okay, bye. Just saying hi. For that. Because I think the actually, yeah, I'm going to do this. The PSP was fine. It wasn't a great handheld by any stretch of the... Well, I mean, that's the thing is, like, it's fab. That's the catch is, like, the PlayStation 5 Pro, with their recent price increases, I think is now $1,000 for the PS5 Pro at this point. And that's a system that is slightly improved over the PS5 for that. So if PS5 Pro is $1,000, then yeah, I think the PS6 is going to be $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. It's going to be something insane for that. Nolan, yes, I do remember watching Spider-Man on the PSP as well. And I like the uniqueness of the little disc for that. That they had for it, and so it was kind of cool to have those little discs that you could carry around with you for that. And so yeah, it's, hey, creature feature, how you doing? I'm the creature feature. Okay, if you're in my chat advertising a game, that's kind of weird, but all right. ROG Ally. I'm sorry, I just haven't heard a lot of people talking about the ROG Ally. It's about the cost of a gaming PC to begin with, and so it's like, I mean, I get it, but it's like I just haven't heard a whole lot of, Yes, I agree with Nolan as well. It's fab. Yes, I 100% agree. I would personally also buy a PC. I mean, right now, this that you're seeing here is PC through my capture card, is what you're looking at, while I have a laptop that I'm using for streaming for this. So yes, I 100% agree. I would, like, once my PS5, honestly, I've thrown around in my head of selling my PS5 at this point. Main reason why is because it's fine, but when I'm talking about what I play with on normally, I'm usually playing with my PC. I'm like, because they can get higher graphics, they can do a whole bunch of other things on there. And so, and pretty much almost all the games for anywhere across the system, like, there are very few PlayStation exclusive games anymore.
Triage level 1, new patient.
Oh, Nolan, thanks you for subscribing. Yeah, it's like, it's a... all right, see you soon, Nolan. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things, but it's like with all the games now, both for like Microsoft and for PlayStation coming out on PC as well, it's like, okay, well, what's the point of having a PS5 anymore? Like PS5 when it came out was really, really good, but I'm just like, eh. Sega Saturn, if my order is correct, Sega Saturn was actually really good. It was a good follow up to the Sega Genesis for that, because the Dreamcast was the last one. I think the Sega Saturn had a bunch of good games on it, and I think that's really, really good. Steam Deck, I'm gonna put a Steam Deck in worth your money depending on which version you get of that. If you're going for the OLED and the really high priced ones, probably not. But I think if you can find one of the original Steam Decks, like I have one of the original Steam Decks for that. For this. So that's there. Switch, I think I'm for Switch and outstanding. Not legendary. I think it's good. I think the Switch is a good console. I don't know if it's reached that legendary status in my mind yet. A lot of good games, but Wii U is indeed. Well, actually, you're kinder to Wii U than I'm going to be. I don't remember a single redeeming factor of the Wii U. I don't remember a single redeeming factor about the Wii U whatsoever. For that. So yeah, you said D. I'm actually going into harsher territory, Toby. Right? I think it was trash. Like I don't remember anything good. Like really, the only Wii U game that I think came out was Mario Kart, and that ended up being on the Switch anyway, the original Switch. So it was like, what's the point? For that. So yeah. It had WarioWare. I mean, well, WarioWare's been on a bunch of different consoles, though. Like, I mean, WarioWare is not enough to save it from the trash category. Only because of the cultural phenomenon it was. I am putting the original Wii into legendary category. It was the first thing that had motion controls. It was the first thing that, I remember literally my family members who are not gamers would get around and play the Wii. Like, that's how much, the Wii's impact.
Triage level 1, new patient.
Toby, right? Thank you for subscribing. How are you back here? I specifically, if you're doing this if you're working around this, and maybe it's just an old message. I don't know, or maybe you went to the other chat. Let's see. Yep. You will be timed out here as well. Oh, hide user in channel. That's even better. Boom. Done. Trying to sneak around, going to the horizontal chat than the vertical chat. I see what you're trying to do there. For that. So yeah, I think Wii is in legendary solely based on the cultural thing that the Wii actually did for that. And so I think it has to be in that category. XS, I mean, I had a S and an X, and I just let them both go. Basically, I sold them. Main reason why is because, one, a PC, pretty much thanks to Game Pass, if you have a PC and Game Pass, you can get everything that's on the Xbox S and X to begin with anyway. There's no exclusives for the Xbox S or X. Like, literally in Game Pass, there's no reason for it. It's you know what? No, I'm going to be crueler. I'm going to move it down to complete trash. And because of the fact that is, just because of the fact that any redeeming qualities that the S or X didn't even have at one point in time is just completely negated now by the fact with Game Pass on PC that you can play everything on the Xbox S and X on probably a more powerful system if you have a good PC behind it. And so it's just like, no. We're not doing this. All right. Xbox 360. I think it was S, though. I'll go ahead and tell you the reason I'm kind of struggling with less S tier for Xbox 360 is because of the Red Ring of Death. It was an outstanding, but I don't know if it was like a perfect machine. It was an outstanding machine. It was really, really good, but it's also one of the few consoles I've had to buy twice or I had to send it in to get it fixed because of the Red Ring of Death that occurred with the 360s. So, but I think just solely for where it was with everything, I think 360 has to be there. I think it's in the legendary category for that. And so that's one I struggled with. But what is going to go in the outstanding category is the original Xbox. And the reason why is because the original Xbox, as far as I remember, is one of the first ones that actually had an in-place hard drive. You didn't need memory cards or anything else to be able to keep track of stuff. It had a massive memory. I know one of my friends with the original Xbox, they basically turned it into an emulation machine and were able to basically put every single Nintendo game and a whole bunch of other stuff on that system because of the internal hard drive. So I think Xbox alone for the internal hard drive does move that up to a category. I mean, if I have to, right? If the S or X is in the complete trash, then the Xbox One has to be in complete trash too, right? Hopefully I'm not out of line with that, but it was the generation right before the S and X, and it was just like, yeah, like it's one of those. I remember getting it for a short period of time because I needed something to play Final Fantasy on, but I basically upgraded to the S for that. And so it's just like, yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so let's go through the flags. Legendary, we have the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, SNES, PS2, Wii, Xbox 360. I think those are the best of the best in terms of consoles, and I have no qualms about any of those being in there. Outstanding, we have the Atari 2600, GBA, Mega Drive, N64, NES, PS1, PS5, Switch, Xbox, all great consoles for that. B, actually, you know what? I'm going to move that GPD win. I thought that was trying to say it's like PC, but I don't think that's actually what that is. I think that's some sort of weird handheld device for that. So I'm pretty unforgettable because I don't know of any system that actually runs Windows other than ROG Ally for a handheld device. So I'm going to move that down. And television was worth its money at the time. Nintendo DS, Nintendo GameCube, PS3, Sega Saturn, Steam Deck, all in the worth your money for various reasons for that. Jeff Randall, we are doing tier lists today. We're going through a whole bunch of tier lists and going through different, ranking different things for this. So, all right. Mediocre, Dreamcast, Game Gear, PSP. Not too much surprise that two of the handhelds are here for this. Forgettable, Jaguar, Magnavox CDI, PS4, PS Vita, ROG Ally, GPD Win. And then the complete trash category, Nintendo 3DS, Wii U, Xbox SNX, and Xbox One. And I basically have guaranteed that I will never get a Microsoft brand deal. But that's fine. It's like for this. So yeah, we're good here. So thoughts, chat, is there anyone want to make a case of moving one of these to a different category? I am willing to hear arguments now at this time for potentially moving stuff around. But I think, honestly, I think this is pretty solid. I think this is a pretty solid list, to be perfectly honest. Nintendo GameCube should be A. I just remember a lot of people not liking the GameCube compared to the 64 because of the CD and everything else. That was kind of the reason why I wanted to put it in B versus A. But I could make an argument. Xbox Series X, way down here, Jeff Randall. Way down here. Main reason why is because Microsoft basically outdated these on their own when they started with the Game Pass to have on PC. So everything that you can play on Xbox S or X is on PC already. So they The intro though, can you remember it? But is a $300 or $400 system worth it just for an intro? Is that a outstanding? Yeah, I can make an argument. I can make an argument for GameCube being there. Yeah, I think GameCube there. All right, I'll put it at the top of the complete trash there. For that. For that. But even though I'm not really ranking in within categories, but just to make you happy, Jeff Randall, I will make it the highest of the categories. I will move the GameCube. I think that's reasonable. For that. All right. Are we ready to move on to our next tier list? All right. Next tier list. Final Fantasy tier list maker. So we have all the Final Fantasy games here, and instead of going in the order that these are being presented in, I'm actually going to go in the order of release. Starting with the original and then moving backwards, or moving up towards now. Original Final Fantasy. This is gonna be a hot take. I think this is gonna be a really hot take. Honestly, it's not that it's bad. It's just basic. It's like really, really basic for Final Fantasy. Like there's gonna be some games here that I think have great story. What's Final Fantasy? RPG, role-playing games for this. So, or this is a Final Fantasy series, I should say. It's a good. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good. Yeah, it's good, but it's not like gonna be top tier or anything for this. And so, yeah, it's fine. Final Fantasy II. Now, see, here's the thing. I'm trying to see. Let me see if I can find it. Do they not have the original Final Fantasy II here? Because they have Final Fantasy II here, but the issue is this is not the Final Fantasy II. This is Final Fantasy IV from the NES, not Final Fantasy II. But then they also have Final Fantasy IV here, which is Final Fantasy II in the US. I'm going to go with this one here. I'm going to put this in the C category just because I don't know if I've ever actually played it. And two, again, it's an NES version. I don't know if there's a whole lot to say about it. Like, it's fine. It's fine. Like, it's for that. For it. So, yeah, whoever did this tier list messed up. Whoever did this tier list too. So this Final Fantasy II is actually Final Fantasy IV because it's the Super Nintendo version. The original Final Fantasy II and III were Japan only releases, and those were on the original NES. So this is technically Final Fantasy IV, but they're using it as 2 and 3 as the numbers for this. American Final Fantasy II should be low C tier. Oh, I don't know if I agree with that one. We'll talk about that when we get to it. The original Final Fantasy III, kind of the same thing. It was not really released in the US. I played it since then. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. It's nothing to write home about, but it was fine. Final Fantasy IV. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Toby. Here, I'm sorry. I think Final Fantasy IV is one of the better Final Fantasies that they have out here, and it was one of the first ones that had a full story. It had the graphics were updated. It was kind of a taste of what Final Fantasy really could be in modern day. If I could get one Final Fantasy game, well, I'm going to answer it, but you're probably not going to like it. Final Fantasy XIV. There's about 100 some odd hours in there, and to do the meme, essentially, you can play it free now up to Shadowbringers, which is the 4th expansion for that. So if I was going to get one Final Fantasy game, like whatever it was, Final Fantasy XIV would be the game that I would say get for that. So again, because it's one, it's an MMO, two, it's has hours upon hours upon hours of content for that for it. So and I had every intention of putting Final Fantasy XIV in the S tier anyway for this. Final Fantasy V. I think it's gonna be the first D. Main reason why is because one, that wasn't released in the US. Two, I did play it. The combat system in Final Fantasy V is trash. Like really bad classes and everything else for that. Final Fantasy V gets the D category. Like it's not great. Yes, it is free on Xbox Series S. Yes. For that, as I said, you can play the trial version up to for that. So you can play the trial version now up to Shadowbringers. So now, besides the base game, they're giving you 3 expansions for free, which is a pretty good deal. Final Fantasy VI. Yes, now this I agree with. That is absolutely A tier material for it. Again, it's SNES, so obviously, but one, it has one of the more unique stories in it. Two, the bad guy actually wins for once, which is kind of surprising for this. And so, yeah, it's good, but it's definitely in the A tier category for this. Final Fantasy VII, the original Final Fantasy VII. Put that right where it belongs. No. Seven was the first one for PlayStation, and it's one of the few MMORPGs that I've beaten at least twice. Oh, not the original, but the other. Okay, yeah, that's a conversation we can have later on. But the original Final Fantasy VII was something else, and I think I have to put that in the S tier category. For that is like, because the original was really, really good. 8, I'm gonna put 8 in the B category. 8 has a good story to it, but I feel like it going from 7 to the whiplash of 8 was really a lot. It was a whole lot, actually, to go through that, and so it's a good game. I would highly recommend playing Final Fantasy VIII. I would definitely recommend it. But it was a lot. It was just a lot of a whiplash from like the amazing story of 7 to 8 being here. I agree, actually. Final Fantasy IX, I think, is the best non-7 of the best PlayStation one that is not 7. Which, I mean, I realize it's only 7, 8, and 9, but still, you get my point. For this. Yes, I did actually enjoy 8. It was kind of a go back to original. I think it's an A category. I think it's better than Final Fantasy VIII, but not as good as the original Final Fantasy VII. For that. So I think 8 is a perfectly valid place for it. Now, I guess, well, actually, I skipped one. Mystic Quest. I don't remember a single thing about Mystic Quest. If someone can tell me I'm wrong on Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, I don't remember a single thing about it. Like, nothing about Mystic Quest. Like, I'm happy to be wrong on that one, but yeah, I realized it had the SNES marker on it, so it's just like, okay, all right, fine. For that. Yeah, it's not gonna lie. Yeah, it's like, I don't remember playing it and everything else. Now, here's gonna be the one that's probably gonna surprise some people. 7 story is good. 10 story is amazing, actually, in hindsight. It was one of the best Final Fantasy stories, in my opinion, until they ruined it with XII, which will be at the complete opposite end of it. For that. But yeah, it was good, but it was like, it's the story rivals Final Fantasy VII for the best story. Outside of A Realm Reborn, which I think does have the best overall story to it. But 7 and 10 are both really close in terms of how good their story is. 10 also was, again, another step up, since we're talking about PlayStation 2 graphics and everything else for this. So Final Fantasy X was actually one of my favorite ones for these. these games multiplayer. Only 14 is multiplayer, and then 11, which we're actually to next. I actually agree with you. I did not like it. I played Final Fantasy 11. I played it for a while. I think they misunderstood the MMO concept at the time, because this is about the same time that World of Warcraft was also starting to take off and things along those lines. And like, maybe I understand. Hey, review DBZ fan, how you doing? I think they misunderstood the concept of MMORPG, meaning you always have to be with a party versus there's a bunch of things you can do by yourself. And, you know, when you're doing dungeons and stuff like that, you can be with other players. When I played Final Fantasy 11, like, you could not even grind levels without a party. Like, you had to have a party to be able to even grind levels in the game. And so it's just like, for MMO design, it was really mediocre. It was really mediocre for that. So C for Final Fantasy 11. What's better, PS5 or Xbox? Well, I went through this in the last one, but PS5, in my opinion, is the better one, mainly because Xbox kind of screwed themselves. Because everything that's on Xbox is now playable on PC. Huh, you like 12, but story didn't interest you? I'm actually gonna put 12 in C. I tried to play 12. This is where they started. 12 is the notable point where they started trying to mess with the turn-based RPG components of it, and I did not like it. Now, call me old-fashioned and call me like, oh, you know, like, this old man, he can't handle change or anything else like that. No, it was just a weird battle system. It was just like, I just could not get into it. I don't know what it was. I just could not get into it. I didn't enjoy it. And it was just like, it's fine. You started on 12? Okay. It was like, it's fine. 12 is a good one, but I think the turn-based ones, in my opinion, are all better than 12, with the notable exception of 5. And X2 for that matter too. But for that. Final Fantasy 13. So for some reason we have 3 different Final Fantasy 13s, but I think I'm gonna I played some of the original Final Fantasy 13. I think that's probably a good like B category one. I think Lightning Returns was D, and I think that's the right order. I think the original Final Fantasy 13 was not bad per se. It was just it kind of continued the it just kind of continued the tradition essentially that was picked up on 12, but the combat was smoother. Like 12 had a very clunky new combat system. 13 started making it better. It went back a little bit to the turn base, but not completely though. So it's not bad. Lightning Returns, I don't know what they were trying to do with that game, and same thing with 13 too. Like, I'm not 100% certain what they were trying to do with any 3 of those other 2 games. Original 13 greater than remakes. Yeah, what you mean, the Final Fantasy remakes, the Final Fantasy VII remakes? All right. But we'll get to that one. World of Final Fantasy, I'm putting in D mainly for lack of familiarity. I don't know a single thing about World of Final Fantasy. I don't know if it's the gacha game they have or whatever for it, but like, I just don't know anything about it, so I have to put it in D solely based off of that. All right, so Final Fantasy 15. What to do with Final Fantasy 15? I think it's B. It's like, I don't think it reaches the echelons to be an A game, or it definitely doesn't reach the echelons to be an S game. For that, but I think it's still a solid game. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean, Jeff Randall? What do you mean weird? Are you talking about the placement of 15, or talking about Final Fantasy 14, or? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's always a little bit of a delay between when you hit enter and when it shows up on screen. So don't worry too much about that for it. So all right. Yeah, 15 was serviceable. It was just like, it's not one that I finished, I will say that much. And the story was interesting. It had kind of a traditional Final Fantasy type story with a more modern aesthetic, and it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. It's probably the best way to describe it. It was fine. Hold on. Now messages are not appearing for me. PS5. Oh, that's weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Jeff Randall. Yeah, I think 15 is serviceable. If 16 was on here, I would probably have 16 at B as well. Again, it's good for that. Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one. Because obviously, I mean, my love for Final Fantasy VII, the original, is really high up there. And it was good to see everything updated to modern graphics and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't think it falls into the A category of being good. And even remake, I think C is too low. Toby, I think C is too low. Well, actually, hold on. I can clarify with this. Final Fantasy VII, the original, or the first remake or remake intergrade, I think it's probably C. If Rebirth was on here, Rebirth would be like A category for me. Because I think Rebirth, when it really opened up to the open world area, it provided a lot of different things for it. Plus, it's one of the few times in recent games that I've cried with No Promises to Keep scene from the latter half of the game. And obviously, of course, we know the big twist that happens in Rebirth, that Aerith's dead, maybe, but not dead. Maybe not dead. I don't know. So for that. And so if I was talking Rebirth would probably be here. Remake, I think, would be here. So I'm going to cut the difference between the two and just call it a B, I think, for that. Because, yeah, the remake version was fine. It took some getting used to, but it was fine. But Rebirth, I think, was considerably better. So if we're counting this as the entirety of both Remake and Rebirth, I would probably put it in the B category for that. So, for that. All right. I think so. Thoughts on this list? So S category, we have 14, 7, and 10. I think those are solid S tier games. A, I think, are the cream of the crop when it comes to some of the older versions, which is 4, 6, 9. For that. The original Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy 13, 15, and Final Fantasy 7 Remake / Rebirth are in the B category. This is an S tier list. Nice, thank you. Original Final Fantasy 2, original Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 11, 12, and 13-2 are on the C category. And the D category is Final Fantasy 5, Mystic Quest, Final Fantasy X2, Lightning Returns, and World of Final Fantasy. For that. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this tier list, I think. Yeah, I think, again, chat, this is your chance to make arguments to move things up or down for that. So, yeah, this works. Well, if my Final Fantasy takes were hot, I'm sure these are probably going to be even hotter. Every Game of the Year winner and nominee tier list. So, this is one we're going to have to go through really, really quickly for this. Because there are a lot of games and we have to go really, really quickly through all of them. So, this might eat up the rest of the stream. Maybe not. For this. Madden 2004. I don't think I'm going to put it in awful solely based on the fact that it's Madden. For that. Sorry. For this. Freedom Fighters. I'd never played Freedom Fighters. I had nothing about Freedom Fighters. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Even compared to Grand Theft Auto 3, I preferred Vice City over the original Grand Theft Auto. Or Grand Theft Auto 3, I should say. And I'm kind of happy that Grand Theft Auto 6 is returning back to Vice City. That actually raised my interest level into it a lot. That we're going back to Vice City for it. For that. So, no. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, masterpiece. Zelda Wind Waker. I'll be honest, it's great. It's perfectly good for this. Well, either one way or the other, Toby, we only have about an hour left in stream, so I'm not going to go too much farther past that. SOCOM, mid. I mean, it was just a shooter. It was just a shooter to be shooter. SSX3, also mid. Like, actually, you know what? No, SSX3 was actually a lot of fun. I am going to move that up to okay for this. Star Wars Galaxies, didn't play, but Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, take that piece in the masterpiece category. Yeah, that was really good. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic was one of the best Star Wars games that they've been out there, so highly recommend that. Splinter Cell, I think it was mid. Like, I don't remember anything too bad about it. Same thing with Tony Hawk Underground. It was fine. I think there were better Tony Hawks out there. So, Metroid Dread. I didn't play Metroid Dread, so I don't know. Psychonauts 2. Okay, this is going to be a hot take. Psychonauts 2 was okay. It was fine. Like, it was perfectly, reasonably fine. I don't think it lived up to the hype of the original Psychonauts, but it's fine. It's a fine game for that. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I don't know if I think it was mid. I don't remember a whole lot about it. Village was great. Elden Ring. Oh, this is gonna be. Now again, I want to say this is my opinion and my opinion alone. I can't put it into the masterpiece category because I am just not a Souls-like player. I'm just not. Yeah, King No Kill. Yeah, I'm gonna consider things that go into awfuls and stuff like that as well for this. Elden Ring is a great game. I've tried to play it. I've never finished it for this because I just can't do Souls-like. I just can't. Like, maybe it's because I'm 45 years old or whatever, but I recognize the greatness without saying I think it's a personal masterpiece for that. And again, it's a good game for that. Plague Tale Requiem. It was mid. Like, I remember more about the original Plague Tale than I do Requiem. God of War Ragnarok, perfectly. I think it was good. It was good. It was like, I wouldn't say great, but it was good. It was good. Horizon. I'll be honest, I didn't play Horizon. Stray. For a little indie game about a cat, Stray is great. Stray is a really great game. Is okay. I get it. But I personally had. Yeah, no, actually, I agree with it more than I'm thinking about it. Yeah, no, I think Stray is okay. It was a good game. It was a good game for that, but not anything like blow you out of the water for that. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'll be honest, I didn't play that one. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This one's probably gonna be controversial too. I did not get into San Andreas. I just did not. I just did not get into San Andreas whatsoever. I think of the PlayStation 1 Grand Theft Auto game or PlayStation 2 Grand Theft Auto games, I think it's the legitimate worst of the three. Because I like the original Grand Theft Auto and I loved Vice City. I think Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is just fine. Baldur's Gate, obviously a great game. I don't know if I can, Baldur's Gate, I can say, yeah, I think it's a great game. A game that I probably need to go back and completely finish. For that, Alan Wake 2, Man, I loved Alan Wake 2. I played Alan Wake 2 on stream. You can go back to my archives to look at it. I love Alan Wake 2. Are there any other Remedyverse games on here? Not that I see. Doesn't mean we can't, like, for this. But yeah, no, I loved Alan Wake 2. That's just my personal opinion. It was a cinematic game. It was a blow your mind type of game. It was really, really good. I highly recommend it. Zelda. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Jeff Randall. Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, that goes there. For that. Spider-Man 2, I played it. It was okay. It was okay. Spider-Man 2 was okay. It was, it was fine. Resident Evil 4. I don't say great game. It's like, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I enjoyed it to the level of like Alan Wake 2 or anything like that, but I enjoyed it. Super Mario Wonder. Mid. It was a fine game, but it was not anything, insane or anything like that. Astrobot, even though it did win Game of the Year, I would put it in the okay category. It was a fine little platformer. It was fine. Like, I see why it won. I don't necessarily agree with it winning, but I see why it won. There's something on here that I think should have won, and I will probably be much higher on that one. Blotro, obviously great game. It was like, obviously, I mean, I wouldn't say masterpiece by any stretch, but great game. Black Myth Wukong, kind of similar in the same category as Elden Ring, but yeah, it is. Exactly, Toby. Yes, exactly. Yes. It's a great game for what it's doing, but it also gets repetitive and everything else. Zach likes eating boulders. Yeah, I don't think they have a list like that. And plus that would take like years to be able to do that. Black Myth Wukong. If Elden Ring is great, Black Myth Wukong is okay. It was an okay game. It's not, again, I don't do well with Soulslikes. For this, and so I think Black Myth Wukong in the okay category is perfectly reasonable for that. So well, that someone has way more time on their hands. I only have a 3-hour stream. And besides, most people I would rank as like mid to below mid. Like, there'd be very few people I'd even rank higher than that. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, I'm gonna just throw it right beside Elden Ring here. I put it in the same kind of category. Again, I recognize its greatness. It's not a game for me. It's not like one of those, oh my gosh, this is the best game ever. Burnout 3. I'm gonna put that mid. I don't remember anything overly special about Burnout. Like, I mean, it's a good game, but everything else. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, as we talked about on the last tier list, I actually think that's a great game. Rebirth was, in my opinion, considerably better than Remake for this. And so, yes, I am on the great category for that. Metaphor ReFantazio. That is what should have won over Astrobot for Game of the Year that year. I'll say it. Astrobot was good. Metaphor ReFantazio was one of the best RPGs I've ever played for that. So, yeah, it's Metaphor right there, like, in my opinion. That's about the perfect place for it. So, Half-Life 2. Obviously. And, you know what? I'll say great game. I recognize the greatness of Half-Life 2 for that, but it's good. It's good. Halo 2. I remember playing so much of Halo 2 and doing, stuff like that for that. So yeah, I have a lot of affection towards Halo 2, so I do think it is in the masterpiece category. I'm awful at it, but I do remember it. Snake Eater. That I think of all the PlayStation 2 Metal Gear games, PlayStation 1 / PlayStation 2 Metal Gear games, I think Snake Eater was by far the best of those for that. Resident Evil 4. If the remake is great, I would say the original is probably okay for that. I'm giving a little bit more to the higher quality updated graphics for this, but that's fine. Call of Duty, you play your place in awful. Fear, I never played Fear. I can't do that. God of War, the original God of War. I think it was I think it was an okay game. I think God of War 2, I think, is actually the better of the games. I don't know if we'll get to that one, but I think that's there. Only out of respect of how much I played World of Warcraft when I was younger. Masterpiece, obviously, for that. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I'm going to say great game. I don't know if I would say necessarily masterpiece, because, again, it's one of those games that I didn't finish, but I certainly did play it for that. So it was good. I wouldn't say great by any stretch, but it was, or I would say great. It wasn't a masterpiece in my opinion. It's not one of my top games ever. But yeah. Gears of War. The original Gears of War was okay. I remember playing a lot of that for it. There's gonna be a Gears of War later on. Actually, where is it? Where's the other Gears of War? Because I saw Gears of War 2 somewhere around here. Gears of War 2. Where are you? Where are you? I know you're somewhere here. Call of Duty, you just take your spot. Call of Duty, take your spot.
Gears of War 2. 1, new patient.
Oh, thank you for following Santiago the Goat. Thank you. Gears of War 2. That is in the great category. For that, they did I enjoyed Gears of War 2 considerably more than even the original Gears of War. So, definitely there. Is there any other Gears of War that we're missing here? I don't see it. For that. Okay. So, Guitar Hero 2. I think it was in the great category. It's like, I remember a lot of great things about, Guitar Hero. I think Guitar Hero 2 the one with Through the Fire and Flames? Or was that Guitar Hero 3? I'm struggling to remember. Let's see. Name's Guitar Hero. Oh, it's Guitar Hero 3 with Guitar Hero 3. Okay, that's fine. It's like I don't know if we'll get another one, but Guitar Hero 2 was a lot of fun. I do remember that. Okami, great game. Ghost Recon? Yeah, it's bad. I don't remember a whole lot about. I actually didn't play it. I didn't play it. BioShock, the original BioShock. That goes into the great game category. Really great game. Enjoy that a lot. Halo 3. If Halo 2 is great, is masterpiece, Halo 3 is like great. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. For that. But yeah. For that. Mass Effect. This is kind of embarrassing. I actually have not played any of the Mass Effect games to any conclusion to where I feel comfortable ranking any of them. Where's Mass Effect 3? Move all the Mass Effects to didn't play. Yeah, that's one of those, I'll be honest, I never played it. And so, yeah. Orange Box. Time to surprise some people. Masterpiece. Main reason why is because of the presence of that little game called Portal. Right there. Portal alone puts the Orange Box into masterpiece category. Team Fortress 2 is fun. Obviously, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 is also a lot of fun for that. But yeah, no, it's Portal carries the Orange Box easily for that. Grand Theft Auto 4, it was fine. Again, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Vice City, but it was fine. Fallout 3, again, another great game. I don't know if I put it in the masterpiece category. Little Big Planet. I'm putting it in bad, not because I think the game is actually bad in and of itself, but really the game is you have to play through a whole bunch of crap in terms of getting to good levels. Because Little Big Planet was basically a create your own level type of thing. And so it's just like, I don't know, for this. Metal Gear Solid 4. that was actually a really great game. I'm glad Metal Gear Solid 4 is finally getting a re-release, because it was a really great game. Again, not up to masterpiece level in my opinion, but really great. Uncharted 2, yeah, it was a good game. Assassin's Creed, I'll just be honest, I haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed to be anywhere close to the point of where I feel comfortable ranking Assassin's Creed. So we'll do that one. Any other Assassin's Creed? Nope, I don't see any. Batman, I don't know which Batman this is. This Arkham City? Arkham. Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I don't remember a whole lot for it. Left 4 Dead 2. It was okay. It's like, actually, no, I'm going to say mid. It's kind of hard to play Left 4 Dead 2 by itself, because it's one of those games you really need a party to be able to actually do stuff with. And so, being able to do it in and of itself is kind of rough. So, Red Dead Redemption. Great game. Awesome game. God of War 3. Again, also great game. For this. I don't know if I like God of War 3 better than I like God of War 2, but it's certainly a great game. Halo Reach. It is mid. It was just a mid Halo game. For that. Just absolutely mid. Skyrim. Great game. I'll put it right there by Oblivion. Again, I don't know if up to masterpiece level, but kind of same thing. Batman Arkham City. Yeah, I think. Where did the first one go? I think it's probably. Where did I put it? Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm trying to remember where I put Arkham City at. Or Arkham. Oh, over here. Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. Arkham City is better in my opinion. I do remember that much. Is that Skyward Sword? I'll be honest, I didn't play Skyward Sword. I don't know anything about that. Portal 2! Take your position up there at the top, right behind Portal 1. Masterpiece of a game. For that. Everything good about Portal 1 was carried right over to Portal 2. Really, really good. For that. There's another Assassin's Creed I could put in the haven't really played it category. Uncharted series. Yeah, I'll just be honest. I haven't played any of the Uncharted series. Let's see. Where's the other Uncharted's? Is that all of them? Is that all of them? I think that's all of them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Good game, but not anything to write home about. Also, the Walking Dead Telltale games I did not play. Dishonored. That is actually a great game. I don't know if you've ever played Dishonored. I would highly recommend it. It is one of the better games out there. Kind of has a great stealth mechanic and everything else to it. Stealth's usually not my thing, but it's fine. It's actually really good. I enjoy it. Journey. I'll be honest, I have not played Journey. BioShock Infinite. Okay. It's like, I wouldn't say it's better than BioShock. It's definitely not better than BioShock 1. And I don't think it's better than BioShock 2. For that. It's an okay game. It's perfectly fine. It's serviceable. Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to go right beside Grand Theft Auto 4. I recognize its greatness. I still prefer Vice City over Grand Theft Auto 5. Super Mario 3D World, great game. Really great game, actually. I don't know if I put it in a masterpiece category, but great game. The Last of Us, I'll be honest, I have not played The Last of Us or The Last of Us 2. Where is it? I know it's somewhere around here. That is on my, I really need to catch up on list. Tomb Raider, it's okay. The new Tomb Raider remakes are perfectly fine. Dragon Age Inquisition. I remember Inquisition. Actually, Inquisition was a really great game. I do like that one a lot. Bayonetta. okay. It's not really my favorite style of game, but I appreciate what was going on there for that. Dark Souls. If Elden Ring is great, Dark Souls is probably in the okay category. You know, and I'll put the Soulslikes together. I'll put the Soulslikes together. Yeah, I'll leave the Soulslikes there because I think also where is it? Where is Black Myth Wukong? Did I move Black Myth Wukong somewhere that shouldn't be? Oh no, I'm putting it in okay. Yeah. Yeah. Souls games are Hearthstone. I'm gonna say a great game, though I will say probably of all games on this list, this is the one that I have probably played the most of outside of World of Warcraft, and Final Fantasy 14. But I don't think that's gonna be on this list for this. Hearthstone is one of the most frustrating games that I've played, but it's still really, really good. I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy even currently I enjoy it. It was certainly better in the past, but obviously if I'm judging it over the entirety of the game series, I would say it's a great game for this. Shadows of Mordor. I don't think I actually played Shadows of Mordor. Witcher Wild Hunt, again, one of those, I recognize it as a great game. I don't know if I would throw it up to the masterpiece category, but I think it's a great game. Bloodborne, kind of in the same category as the Elden Ring / Dark Souls / Souls games for that. Fallout 4. I think Fallout 4 was a really good game. Like, I think it was good. I don't know if I'd say it was great. Where did I have Fallout 3? I know I did Fallout 3 earlier. Yeah, I'll put them right next to each other. It's not until you get to, like, Fallout 76 where weird stuff starts happening. Phantom Pain. Great game. I mean, pretty much a lot of things in the Metal Gear Solid series are really great. Super Mario Maker. And I'm going to throw this up here, and it's going to sound really weird. Like, why are you throwing this into Masterpiece? Kind of the same thing that I judged Little Big Planet harshly for, I'm actually a fan of in Mario Maker. And the main reason why is because some people create some absolutely insane, like, Kaizu level. I think it's called Kaizen. No, Kaizen is a management principle. Kaizu levels. They just do some insane stuff in those games. Some people, I don't know how they get through them, but I love the challenge behind Mario Maker and stuff like that. So, I'm gonna move to great. I'm looking at the other list of things along this line, and I'm just like, okay, Mario Maker is great, but it's not that. Overwatch. So it depends on this is the original Overwatch. The original Overwatch was great. Like, the original Overwatch was great. Let me be completely clear with that. The original Overwatch was great. Overwatch 2 is another story, but Overwatch 2 is not going to be on this list anywhere for this. Doom? Doom was okay. I think I prefer, like, the newer ones, like the well, not the newer ones, but like Dark Ages and stuff like that, compared to the original remake. Or where's Doom Eternal? I know Doom Eternal is going to be somewhere on here, right? Yeah, Doom Eternal. If the original Doom is okay, Doom Eternal is in the great category. Doom Eternal is actually a really great game. Inside. I don't think I played Inside. I'm gonna move Horizon here as well, because I haven't really played any of the only Horizon I played is actually the one that's with the place that came with PlayStation VR, which is fine. It's fine, but I haven't really played that one. Titanfall 2. Titanfall was such a good game. Like, it was such a good game. I would say great into that category there. Obviously, if Tears of the Kingdom is up here, obviously Breath of the Wild also has to be up here in terms of best games ever. Persona 5. Even though I enjoyed Metaphor Retazio, I haven't actually played Persona 5 for that. PUBG Battlegrounds. I mean, it's just a shooter. It's like, it's mid. Super Mario Odyssey. Great game. I loved, not to the point of masterpiece, but I loved Odyssey. That was a really great game. God of War, kind of similar to Ragnarok. Where's Ragnarok? I think I put Ragnarok in the mid. I'd put that. Ooh. Yeah, I might have to fix that. Actually, I'm gonna flip these. I think Ragnarok is better than the original God of War for the newer versions. For that, so yeah, I think Ragnarok is great, whereas God of War is okay. It's okay. Celeste. Now, Celeste is gonna have two different categories here. If I was talking about how bad I am at Celeste, it would be awful. But I recognize what Celeste is trying to do, and I appreciate it, even though I suck at it. So I'm putting it in the okay category. Spider-Man 2 is there. I think Spider-Man, the original one, is probably somewhere like right here as well. Monster Hunter World. I'll be honest, I've never played Monster Hunter whatsoever. Red Dead Redemption 2. All right, if the original Red Dead is great, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a masterpiece. Like, I think that's one of the easiest slam dunks on this list. Is like, really just changed everything for that series in terms of like the first one was good, the second one's even better. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Let's put this into the. I recognize the greatness of it. I'm just terrible at it, so I wouldn't call it masterpiece. Control. Well, I'm playing it right now on stream, so obviously I think highly of Control. Put it right by that Alan Wake 2 there. Yeah. As much as Star Wars games try to be power fantasies in terms of like use the Force, Control actually is a power fantasy game, and I love Control. I've already played through it once off stream myself. I'm playing it through on stream currently for this. But Control is up there with Alan Wake 2 and I am so excited for Resident. I'm waiting patiently for them to announce Resident. Death Stranding, great game. If it was Death Stranding 2 would probably be closer up here, but the original one is fine. Resident Evil 2, the remake, I think again, kind of where Resident Evil 4 is. Great game for that, really good. Super Smash Brothers, yeah, it was okay. I mean, it's a Smash Brothers game. Outer Wilds, I haven't actually played Outer Wilds, and I also have not really played Animal Crossing either for that. So. Final Fantasy, if where did it put? If Rebirth is great, Rebirth is if Rebirth is great. Actually, I would go down to mid. Mid seems cruel for no reason whatsoever. I'll put that one there. Ghost of Tsushima, kind of in the same category as these right here with the Soulslikes for that. Hades, if this was Hades 2, it would be masterpiece. Original Hades is great, but not masterpiece level. It Takes Two, I'll be honest, I didn't play. That's a multiplayer game that requires multiple people. And Deathloop, it was fine. I don't remember anything special about Deathloop. Like, I recognize the looping mechanic and everything else, and it was cool looping mechanic, but I don't think it even made it an okay game. I think it just made it a good game for that. So all right, so what are the thoughts on the list? So masterpiece, we have Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, Alan Wake 2, Control, Knights of the Old Republic, both Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, Metaphor ReFantazio, Halo 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, World of Warcraft, Orange Box, mainly carried by Portal 2, and Red Dead Redemption 2. In the great category, we have Wind Waker, Village, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Ghost of Tsushima, Baldur's Gate, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4, Balatro, Half-Life 2, Oblivion, Skyrim, Gears of War 2, Guitar Hero, Okami, Bioshock, Halo 3, Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, Fallout 3 and 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, and actually I probably should move Metal Gear Solid 5 there too. Uncharted 2, Red Dead Redemption, God of War 3, Batman Arkham City, Dishonored, Super Mario 3D World, Inquisition, Hearthstone, Witcher, Super Mario Maker, Overwatch, Doom Eternal, Titanfall 2, Mario Odyssey, God of War Ragnarok, Death Stranding, Hades. Okay, category SSX 3, God of War, Psychonauts 2, Stray, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Spider-Man 2, Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, the original Resident Evil 4, God of War, Gears of War, Batman Arkham City, or Arkham Asylum, Bioshock, Bayonetta, Tomb Raider, Doom, Celeste, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Bro, trust me, S goes on S here, F goes in S here. Which one are you talking about? King No Kill. What game are you what game are you making an argument for? Like, are you saying SSX 3 needs to go in Masterpiece tier? All right, mid Soakem 2, Splinter Cell, Tony Hawk, Ratchet and Clank, Plague Tale, Super Mario Wonder, Burnout 3, Left 4 Dead 2, Halo Reach, PUBG Battlegrounds, or Deathloop, Bad, Little Big Planet, Awful, Madden 2024, and the 3 Call of Duty games. And with the didn't play, this is my... Oh. Well, no, I mean, I want to give an honest ranking of these things. And so, I'm not going to put Awful in S tier, or the Masterpiece category, just to put Awful in those. Like, I do have taste, like, for this. And again, I know people are going to disagree with me on things like Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. There's going to be things that people disagree with me, especially in the great category, that they think should be in the Masterpiece category. For that, but these are the games that I feel like I have resonated with the most in, are things that I consider masterpieces for this. So, all right, I think that's everything for this one. All right, we have about 30 minutes left. Let's end on a kind of a fun one. Smash or pass. I think this is a funny one to end on. Is Smash or pass fast food mascots for this. So we have a whole bunch of mascots down here. Even though I think there's some that are repeated. Maybe it's just different versions of it. For that. So we have Smash 100%, Smash, I guess. Nah, hell no. Aunt Jemima. No, Key, no Kill. I'll be honest, I don't get. Yeah, I guess I'll move both Aunt Jemimas right there. I guess. Uh, Quaker Oats Man? Nah. Is that a Sour Patch Kid? Hell no. No. I'm not making this Epstein Island. What the fuck? Also, no. I'm not making love to the sun. Flo? Sure, I guess. I guess. Green is 100% Smash. I don't know why they put all the M&M colors here. Sure. I'm gonna put all those in the nah category. Like, if I'm gonna smash a piece of milk chocolate, I'm smashing green, the green M&M. Chester Cheetah, I guess. It's fine. He seems like a cool dude. Whatever. We have 3 different variations of Chuck E. Cheese here. So this one, well, here's the thing. No, and no. That one's creepy. That one's weird. And that one looks like a kid. So no, and no to all 3 for various different reasons. Pillsbury Doughboy? Yeah, that's a smash. For that. So, A&W Bear. I guess. It's like, I mean, he seems comfortable enough. Um, Captain Crunch. Yeah. Nah. I'm fairly certain that's just masturbation. There. Uh, with a oven mitt. Why do they pick hot KFC guy? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Yeah, no. It's like Burger King guy. Hell no. Chef Boyardee. Sure. It's like, I guess. That's a monkey. Um, is that the Honeycrisp? Is that Honeycrisp monkey? Who is that? Yeah, no, just hell nah. B? Nah, not hell no. That's just a cow. I am not fucking a cow. I'm not smashing a cow. I shouldn't say fucking a cow. Um, no, not Jack in the Box guy. Um, no, Little Caesar guy. Uh, yeah, he looks like a good time. Smash. Pringles guy. Um, I guess. I mean, the can is basically asking for it at that point. It's a long cylinder can. Like, what are you supposed to do with the long cylinder can? Um, the Keebler elf guy. Yeah, I guess. No. Kool-Aid Man? I don't think so. No. Betty, who the fuck drew that Betty Crocker? Like, did they just make the horniest Betty Crocker possible? What the fuck? That being said, smash. Um, Land O'Lakes. I'm fairly certain that's a kid. I could be wrong. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before in my life. No. Mary McCheese. I'm just gonna make this easy. Nah, and then hell nah to to these. Um, for that, like, what the fuck? Um, the bee there? Is there another animal? No. Pepsi Man? Nah. I guess I'll do the Noid or the whatever that is. I guess. Um, Frankenstein's monster? Nah. Count Chocula though. Yeah, I guess. Ghost, I guessed. Um, this one. No, that's a werewolf. It's a werewolf. What am I thinking? A mummy? Nah. Sugar bear. I guess. Um, Tony the Tiger. No. Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Um, no, and no. The Cocoa Puffs mascot. Um, nah. Definitely not. I'm not smashing a toaster. Uh, no. No. I guess. On the leprechaun elf. Dig'em frog? No. Wendy's? Isn't Wendy's in the logo supposed to be, well, no, hell no. Because they're Trump supporters. So no. No matter how much you're trying to show your butt there, no. Vlasic pickles? Nah. The owl. Mr. Clean. Yeah, that's a smash. For that. The big pin? That's just sticking a pin. Like, no. And Mr. Peanut? Yeah, I guess. Okay. Thoughts? Thoughts, people? What are thoughts? Any you think I should move around? I think this is fairly straightforward, I think it's fairly straightforward. Um, and yes, I put the owl up there because I am an owl myself, so I would by default have to say smash the owl. Like, come on. Come on. All right. I think I'm happy with this, I think. Um yeah, I think most of these are in their right spot. Um if we're going by animal characters, I guess I probably should move that one down, but it's fine. Just Street is a cool dude. The A&W Bear is a cool dude. The Noid, I don't know what's going on with him, but sure, I guess. I just feel very comfortable in my smashes, though. Obviously, smash 100% the green M&M, Pillsbury Doughboy, the Hamburger Helper Hand, Little Caesar Pizza Guy, Betty Crocker, the Owl from the Tootsie Roll, and Mr. Clean. For that. Yeah, I think I'm fairly comfortable with this. Anybody want to make an argument for smashability on something in here? That's a maybe. I still don't know what that is. That is the weirdest, creepiest fucking thing I've seen in quite some time. And put the clowns. Let's put the clowns together. Boom. Clowns are close to clowns. Okay. I think that's good. All right. Well, I think we are probably good for this evening. So, I had some other tier lists, but there are things that I don't really want to get into, at least not this time, about like English VTubers and what? Do Bassie or Yada from Dandy's World? What in the world are you talking about? And then Genius, if you don't know the Korean show Genius, it would be very hard to go through this. So I'm not going to worry about either one of those two. But what do you mean Bassie or Yada from Dandy's World? What, you mean Smash or Pass? I've never played Dandy's World, so I have no clue as to even who the characters are for that. So you'll have to give me information on that one. Don't play it. Okay. All right. True. I guess I gotta do some Google searching. So Bassie, Yada. No, I don't want to do Bessie X Yada. That's gonna be just Rule 34 all over. Okay. So there's Yada. That's Bassie. Um. Hmm. I think I would give a slight preference to Bassie. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yada looks really cool here, but like that also looks very close to a clown. And as you saw, I basically put all the clowns, um, in like the no, I'm not touching it category. And so Bessie is the basket woman and Yada is a pinata. Okay. Yeah, I think I would give a slight if I was gonna rank these two. Now again, I don't know anything about Danny's world. I don't know if for all I know, Bessie may be the villain of the entire thing versus Yada's a pinata or whatever. But if I was going to, based off of just first impressions looking at these, and since I've never played the game before, I think it's Bessie over Yada. I mean, according to what I'm seeing here, that might make me a furry too, but depending on what we're seeing here. But yeah, I think I would give, I think I give Bessie the. Okay, so actually that's a better image there because then now we're comparing Bessie to from the same website. Yeah, I still think Bessie. Bessie for me, I think overrides wins against Yada. For that. So again, not knowing anything about this show or game, right? This is your hour. What about Twisted Sprout? Is that also from? What? Oh. Um. Um. I'll be honest, this is a tough one. This is a tough one for me because I still think so. This is the official picture right here, right? This is the original Twisted Sprout. We don't ask Chris questions. He's a strawberry. Wait, that's a strawberry, or is that a straw? Wait, so which is it? Because this is like a tentacle monster here. That seems to be the official from the Danny's World wiki, and then there's the strawberry over here. Like if it was the strawberry, I would say strawberry over Bessie. But if we're talking this thing, yeah, that tentacle is doing some weird stuff there. I think Bessie still has it. I think, though, I could completely understand where you said Twisted Sprout, depending on your proclivities and things you like. Why is there so much Rule 34 stuff for Danny's World? What in the world is this game? Yeah, I think I would personally have. Oh, oh, okay. So it's not tentacles. It's who. Yeah, exactly. That's if I was ranking them, I would say Bessie, Twisted Sprout, Yada. Based on the info that's here. But I'm still like, whoa, what in the world? Like, what in the world? I'm not gonna play Dandy's World. I want to know what happened to get this character from here to here. like, what in the world in the story happened to get him from this to this? For that. All right. Any other requests on ranking stuff? Oh, going back to this one real quick, since they didn't include stuff. Expedition 33 would be in this masterpiece category up here. Hades 2 would probably be masterpiece as well. And then I think everything else from last year probably would be, in terms of games of the year, winners or nominees, will all be in the great category. Like last year was a really good year. So, yeah, I think. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know anything about this game or anything else from this. So, yeah, that's my ranking is basically useless. You know what? I get it. I completely get it. As I said, I thought that was a tentacle, and I know people get weird about tentacles, and things along those lines, and a claw hand and everything else. So I get why people would simp over Twisted Sprout for some reason. It's just not doing anything, you know. It's just not doing much for me. I don't know. It's like, but it is second though. I would say it's second. So let's see. Do Chat Noir from Miraculous Ladybug? How old is this character? I'm not going to be ranking stuff that's, you know, these are like kids and teenagers and stuff like that. I mean, it looks cool. I'll give them that, but you know, Harvey Harrington. Who's Harvey Harrington? Oh, Harvey Harrington. Okay. Yes, I did mean Harvey Harrington. Okay. Oh, what is this? This looks very much like. What game is this? Um, it looks like a game called Blood Money. It looks very much in the art style of like a Mori. I don't know anything about it. I mean, the character looks cool. The character looks really cool. For that, but I don't know anything about it. Like, I don't even know what I'm comparing it to. For this, again, people are simping over Harvey Harrington. What is this game? Well, I guess what's the game itself? You know, life-saving expensive surgery. On the way home, they encounter a roadside booth where just Harvey, who offers $1 for each click on his image. At first, it seems simple, but the player quickly discovers that earning more money requires inflicting pain on you. Holy shit! Do not play it? No. It's like, I don't know if I want to play this. Like, Jesus Christ, it looks like you're supposed to basically beat a person up for money. I mean, he looks cool. Like, I'll give him that, but I don't know, you know. I don't know anything else beyond that. So, but I mean, yeah, looks really, really cool. So, all right, last call. We got about 15 minutes left. Anything else? Is there any other tier list y'all want to see really quickly? Just give me a search for a tier list. No, I'm not looking up Love Money. Oh, Gulp look up Love Money. Yeah, I'm not doing it. So yeah. If Gulp wants to look it up, that's perfectly fine. So let's see. Let's do 2025 games. See if there's a something really quick. Oh, this is gonna be quick. Oh, okay. Search Korra? Well, I know what Korra is. Because that's from that Avatar spinoff, right? Yeah, Korra looks really cool. Yeah, yeah, pretty cool. He said, all right, Burb tier list. All right, let's see what a Burb Birds. Am I just ranking birds or burbs? Um, what about FPE? What is FPE? I don't know what FPE is. Um, is this just a tier list of different burbs? Oh. I mean, fundamental paper education. Yeah, I mean, we're searching up a whole bunch of weird stuff. Is that a game? What in the world? Oh, it's a TV series. I won't eat you, just an insect. I'm just an owl VTuber, not an actual owl. Okay, that looks like an interesting TV show. Not something that I would be all in on, but looks interesting. All right. Let's see. Let's see, like all these birds are gonna be an S tier. Like, these are all great birds. Except for one. Is there a chicken on here? I saw a chicken. No, that's a turkey. That's not a chicken. Is a chicken on this list? Where is the chickens? There's no chicken? Okay. Oh, there it is. Literally the only type of bird that's ever attacked me. For this. So chicken goes into the D tier. I like chickens as food, but not as birds. Like, I was walking around somewhere in Florida with my family, and we just had we were walking around in like Key West or something like that, and all of a sudden there were like chickens walking around, and it's just like, all of a sudden, standing next to a chicken, the chicken just jumps on top of my head for some reason. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. All right, FBE tier list. All right. Rate FP. Okay. This is completely blind. I don't know any of these. So what am I going off of? Just looks? Because I've never watched the show whatsoever. So everything's just going to be kind of random. Like, yeah, I don't know. Watching them right now? No, it's like I'm not gonna watch an entire education or the entirety of fundamental paper education in 10 minutes. That's not gonna happen. Like, we only got 10 more minutes left in the stream. Like, you know what? We'll just do a quick one. Undertale characters. We can get through that in 10 minutes, I think. Or rate all Undertale ships. No. That's too much. All Undertale. Wait. Solid. Oh, okay. Sweet. Okay, this is cool. Let's see. Starting with Alphys. Well, I still can't. I don't know if I can watch an entire episode of a show in 10 minutes. Like, that's still a lot. Alphys is a solid A. For that. Ascor, S. Astro Dreamer, He plays such a B. Birdly. I hate Birdly. All my homies hate Birdly. Okay, that's Chara. Starmania Studios, if it is a this is a live stream. I can't watch the entirety of 2 minutes. Especially if it's copyrighted material, that would get me in so much trouble just to watch it. How about this? I'll make a deal with you. I will watch it, and next Thursday we'll do that. So, Jevin, stop spamming my chat, please, immediately, or you will be banned. So that's your one and only warning. Chara's a B level category. For that, Flowey, I mean, obviously Flowey doesn't do a whole lot of great stuff, but I love the idea of Flowey as a character. Frisk, yeah, B. He's just kind of an insert character. Jevil, Jevil's a solid B. Chris. No, Chris is an A. I'm gonna go ahead and just do it now. Susie is an S. Susie is one of my favorite characters. Well, in Undertale or Deltarune, we think that's the case. We're not 100% certain yet, but we think it's the case. For that. Hi, hey Qualta, how you doing? Metaton. I kind of like Metaton. Noelle. B. I like the character. Put my man up there. Right up there. Also, you know, put his brother right up there too. It's like, what? No, that's just making fun of the song itself. They haven't come out straight way to say that Asgore kills Death. Like, it's being inferred from a lot of the things, but it's not absolute canon for that. Queen is S tier. Rousey, I'm trying to put Rousey in S tier, but I'm gonna put Rousey in A tier. Spamtron. Yeah, I'm sorry. Spamtron's an S. Too bad Tenna's not here. I guess I had to go back and do Tenna. For that. And so, welcome. How do you say your name? Is it Hailequata? Turtle's a character, and Undyne is a S character. Okay, so you can see, fine, I won't be as cold to Beardly. There are no D characters in Undertale Deltarune. For that. So, yeah, Asgore, you know what? When I think about it, I think Asgore needs to move down one. I like Asgore. It's like, I think he's more of a Hi Cal. Okay, welcome. Jevin. Please stop. I've already warned you once about spamming my chat. Yeah, I think this is the right tier list. Yeah, I think Flowey, Susie, Pyrus Sands, Spamtron, and Undyne are your S tier characters. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, cool. All right, so we have a good list here. All right, we're right at time. We're at 7:55. So with that in mind, the clinic is closed for this evening, but we'll be back tomorrow night, and we'll be back Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok at Dr. Scripts VT. But until next time, goodbye, everybody.